गुरु वंदना का अनुवाद। हमारे गुरुदेव के चरण कमल ही एकमात्र साधन है जिनके द्वारा हम शुद्ध भक्ति प्राप्त कर सकते हैं। मैं उनके चरण कमलों में अत्यंत भक्ति एवं श्रद्धापूर्वक नतमस्तक होता हूँ। उनकी कृपा से जीव भौतिक क्लेशों के महासागर को पार कर सकता है और कृष्ण की कृपा प्राप्त कर सकता है। मेरी एकमात्र इच्छा है कि मैं उनके मुख कमल से निकले हुए शब्दों द्वारा अपनी चेतना को शुद्ध करूं। उनके चरण कमलों में अनुराग ऐसी सिद्धि है जो समस्त मनोरथों को पूर्ण करती है। वे मेरी बंद आंखों को खोलते हैं तथा मेरे हृदय में दिव्य ज्ञान भरते हैं। जन्म जन्मांतरों में वे मेरे प्रभु हैं। वे प्रेमा भक्ति प्रदान करते हैं और अविद्या का नाश करते हैं। वैदिक शास्त्र उनके चरित्र का गान करते हैं। हे गुरुदेव, हे प्रभुपाद, करुणा सिंधु तथा पतित आत्माओं के मित्र, आप सबके गुरु एवं सभी लोगों के जीवन हैं। हे गुरुदेव, हे प्रभुपाद, मुझ पर दया कीजिए तथा मुझे अपने श्री चरणों की छाया प्रदान कीजिए। आपका यश तीनों लोकों में फैला हुआ है। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की।
Hare Krishna. So today we are very fortunate. Today we are very fortunate that we have among us His Grace Savyasachi Prabhu. So there is a brief introduction of Prabhuji. So Prabhuji is one of the senior disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, and Prabhuji belongs to South Africa. And he joined ISKCON temple in 2002. And Prabhuji has done his spiritual education, Bhakti Sastri, Bhakti Vaibhav from Sridham, Mayapur. And Prabhuji has served in South Africa and neighboring countries like Switzerland, Swaziland and other countries at over 18 years. And he was traveling with His Holiness Bhakti Narasimha Swami Maharaj for 4 years to preach in Southern and East Africa. And Prabhuji he has also preached in universities since 2004 and has been focused with WITS University since 2014. Prabhuji has spent 4 months traveling and preaching internationally and spent the balance preaching in Africa. And Prabhuji is also chairperson in Wake Up South Africa Consciousness Development Initiative. And Prabhuji is also part of board of ISKCON SA National Council. And Prabhuji is also into the currently in sannyas list, and soon we will be seeing Prabhuji in sannyas dress. So we are really very fortunate to have His Grace Savyasachi Prabhu among us. So let's welcome Prabhuji by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And also along with Prabhuji we have Dineshwar Prabhuji, who has come along with Prabhuji. We also would welcome Prabhuji by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. His Grace Savyasachi Prabhuji Jai ki Jai.
Anantapati Vaishnavinda ki Jai. Thank you, Prabhu. Can you give that? Okay, no problem. You please forgive me. Oh, sorry. The voice is finished. Jai. Flu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhare Jaya Girivaradhare Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhare Jaya Girivaradhare Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Kunja Vihari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhare Jaya Girivaradhare Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Nita Gora Hariba, Gora Hariba. Nita Gora Hariba, Gora Hariba. Kantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the seven devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Glories to the Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nasta Prayasa Bhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhavatam Bhakti Mahaituki. Say it again. Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Hare Krishna. We're reading from the 10th canto, chapter 5, Srimad Bhagavatam. We will read text 26. Today is Gopastami, and so it's a special occasion. The devotees said, pick a verse, so we have this verse, and because it speaks something about cows. So text 26, please repeat. Kachit, weather, pasavyam, protection of the cows. Nirujam, without difficulties or disease. Bori, sufficient. Ambu, water. Trina, grass. Virudam, plants. Brihadvanam, the great forest. Tat, all these arrangements are there. Aduna, now. Yatra, where? Ase, a living. Twam, you. Surit vrataha, surrounded by friends. Kachit pashavyam nirujam. Burambu trinavirudam. Brihadvanam tadaduna. Yatra se tvam suridvritaha. Kachit pasavyam nirujam. Burambu trinavirudam. Brihadvanam tadaduna. Yatra se ivam suridvritaha. Okay, we already did the word for word. So translation and purport. Please repeat. My dear friend Nanda Maharaj. In the place where you are living with your friends, is the forest favorable for the animals? The cows. I hope there is no disease or inconvenience. The place must be full of water, grass, and other plants. Purport. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. For human happiness, one must care for the animals, especially the cows. Vasudeva therefore inquired whether there was a good arrangement for the animals where Nanda Maharaj lived. For the proper pursuit of human happiness, there must be arrangements for the protection of cows. This means that there must be forests and adequate pasturing grounds full of grass and water. If the animals are happy, there will be an ample supply of milk, from which human beings will benefit by deriving many milk products with which to live happily. As enjoined in Bhagavad Gita 18:44, Krishya go raksha vanijam vaishakama swabhavajam. Without giving proper facilities to the animals, how can human society be happy? That people are raising cattle to send to the slaughterhouse is a great sin. By this demoniac enterprise, people are ruining their chance for a truly human life, because they are not giving any importance to the instructions of Krishna. The advancement of their so-called civilization resembles the crazy efforts of men in a lunatic asylum. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaevacha Patita Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Very happy to be amongst all of you. I can feel the enthusiasm that all of you have. We came last evening for offering the lamp to Damoda, and there was a roaring kirtan in the temple. So kirtan is really the sign of the spiritual health of a temple, of a home, and so when there's kirtan, you know that there is life. Yes. So we are very happy to be here. We just came from Shivindavan Dham. We spent about 12 days there. So it was very enthusing, refreshing. The battery is a bit charged, maybe 80% upwards. I should have stayed longer to charge it more. And by the arrangement of Sachinandan Gopabu, somehow I'm in your association, so I'd like to request your blessings upon me, and that maybe I can say something that will be beneficial. So it's a festive day today. We are all Krishna-loving people. Can you imagine any class that happens without mentioning the name of Krishna? In fact, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, when he was asked, what is a good class? He said, you just count how many times the speaker mentions Krishna. Even Srila Prabhupada when they were saying to him about having bad press. Srila Prabhupada said, well, there's not good or bad press. If you see that the article mentions Krishna a few times, it doesn't matter what else they say. As long as they mention Krishna, then that is good press. So that's the vision of the pure devotees. They are seeing Krishna everywhere. And they are enthused by seeing that others are receiving the sound vibration of Krishna. In Vrindavan today, it sounds very weird for my mind, right? Because Vrindavan is very close to you here. We're used to talking about Vrindavan in Africa or wherever, and you think of it as a far away place. But of course, Srila Prabhupada has said that Vrindavan, to go there is not a matter of buying a ticket, whether train or airplane, but it is a matter of consciousness. And so we try to transport ourselves through consciousness of Krishna to actually Vrindavan Dham. There, as we are hearing today, the devotees were deciding to move to Gokul because they were having trouble from the demons. And the inquiry is very interesting, that Vasudeva wants to understand, okay, it's good you want to protect Krishna wherever you are going, but first he wants to know, is the forest favorable for the animals? So this is the Vaishya's mentality. He wants money. But then also he wants to protect the cow. We're hearing here that Krishi Go Raksha, that is their dharma. So their main concern is the safety of the animals, the pleasure of the animals. So is the forest favorable for the animals? We hear a lot of times devotees when they are traveling somewhere, they want to know, where is the accommodation? How far is it from the temple? Is it safe, Prabhuji? AC or non-AC? Also they ask, is the water hot or not? Some brahmacharis, they don't care about this. We touch their lotus feet. The grihasthas generally are very concerned about this because of a different setting. The home means Om, sweet Om. It must be comfortable. So these questions are so that one can prepare themselves mentally for what lies ahead. That's why astrology is very popular. Prabhuji, please tell me, what do you see? The devotees, they say, we see old age, disease, and death. Because that is in everyone's chart. It's definitely coming. So Krishna consciousness is preparing us for this reality. The body will get old. There will be disease. And ultimately we have to leave this body. Here they want to understand what will be the comfort of the cows. Will they have sufficient grass to eat? Is there enough land for them to walk around? We see in our Hare Krishna movement, ISKCON movement, there's cow protection. It's very noble and wonderful. Sometimes though, it becomes a burden when the devotees, they keep the animals. They are thinking how to feed them, and sometimes they don't have enough land for the cows and to move around. But still, because we worship a cowhead boy, Gopal, Krishna, we try to maintain his friends to the best of our capacity. The bulls, however, they require to work. When they are kept without work, then it's a bit frustrating for them. I was in Malaysia. There's a very nice cow sanctuary there. So when they took us there, we were hearing a lot of mooing. And As we went close, I asked Prabhuji, he said, the cows here? I said, no, Prabhu, these are the bulls. But they were sounding very frustrated, like a brahmachari ashram that wasn't happy. There's a lot of them, just, not such a big crawl. But the devotee assured me they have just acquired more land for them to move around, for them to plow the land, so then they will be happy. Otherwise, just confined in a small place, very frustrating. They cannot expend their energy in Krishna's service. In Vrindavan, it is all about Krishna's service. So as we try to bring Vrindavan to wherever we are, we have to find ourselves thinking about the feelings of the different devotees. Jai Shishi Gaunitai ki jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki jai, Shishi Rukmini Dwakadish ki jai. So our management, our leadership should be considering how are the devotees going to become enthused to serve Krishna. Krishna has said that devotion has to be performed susukam katumavyayam, joyfully performed. So any arrangements that are being made, the service attitude of the devotee is being considered, because you want the devotees to be happy in their service. Also the cows, they are also devotees. Therefore the cows must have enough land, they must have enough grass to eat, so that they can also be happy. We don't want friends that are always unhappy. Maybe someone does. Anyone likes friends that are just a bit sour, miserable? No. We want our friends to uplift our spirits. So Krishna also is interested in happy devotees. One year, the mood at ILS, those who have gone to Mayapur for the leadership Sangha, one year the theme was more devotees, happy devotees. So not that we get more devotees, but they are not happy. Srila Prabhupada said the best preaching is to have happy devotees. If the devotees are happy, then people want to join. Because mature world means tukala mashashvatam, padam padam yadvipadam natesham. It's natural that we are suffering, but we want to come into the Sangha of those who are happy. And how are the devotees happy? Because Krishna is also known as Rama. He's the reservoir of all pleasure. Krishna is like gulab jamun, it has been said. Anywhere you bite, only nectar, rasa is coming out. So those who are around Krishna, naturally we expect that Krishna's joy will rub off on them. So if devotees performing devotional service, and they are not becoming happy, and happy doesn't mean that they are always laughing and jumping. Happy means they have knowledge, this world is temporary. They are able to tolerate the happiness and distress, matras pashas to konteya. They are also confident that simply by performing Krishna consciousness, all my problems of life will be solved. That knowledge creates happiness. Because Krishna has said, one who is not connected to me in Krishna consciousness can't have steady intelligence. Without steady intelligence, one cannot have a mind which is fixed. Without a mind which is fixed, how can one be peaceful? And when there is no peace, there cannot be happiness. Yes. So the platform of peace is that Bhoktaram Yagatapasam Savaloka Maheshwaram Suridam Savabhutanam Yatomam Shantim Richati. Knowing who things belong to, knowing the proprietor, Krishna. Knowing that he's the Suridam, he's the dearmost friend. So we are not overly anxious because we know that Gopal has our back, our front and our side. He is very much the protector of his devotees. Yesterday we spoke about Bhakta Vatsala in Vrindavan, that he's the most affectionate friend. So it is not just from Krishna's side, also from the devotees. Therefore, Vasudev wants to know about the happiness of the cows. Srila Prabhupada brings up a very sobering point about society today, humanity today, that they are maintaining slaughterhouses. I was shocked because we glorify Mother India a lot, Bharat, Chai, like that. There's always also, there's more movement now to just glorify the land, sometimes without looking at the principles that are being given in the Shastras for divine consciousness. It becomes just land of birth, Jai, Jai. So each country thinks, Jai South Africa, Jai Uganda, Jai China, Jai Hind. Yes, but we must look into the Shastra to understand what is the glory of India. So the glory of India is this protecting the cows. Why? Because they are dear to Krishna. Not that we protect the cows, we feed them, and then later on we cut their throats because now they are nice and fat. It's very horrible. You can imagine, you visit someone's home, they welcome you nicely, Prabhu, they bathe your feet, give you garlands, give you prasadam, everything. When they go to the kitchen to get more hot chapatis, they are thinking, let him become nice and full, then we'll cut his throat. That's not good. So, this slaughterhouse civilization is a very horrible quality of human society. They are unaware that the cow is the mother. So, a civilization that kills the mother is a doomed civilization. I looked up at some point the rankings of beef producing countries. Some ways, this is another glory of India. Top 10 ranking. Some places top 5. Brazil and New Zealand. New Zealand, very beautiful country. You go there, people pay top dollar, and you see so much of nature. But it's not apparent that within all this so-called peace and beauty, the biggest slaughterhouses are there. And although it's beautiful and tranquil and peaceful, also suicide, very high. Because in that sattva guna, if the mind is disturbed, then everyone can access the disturbed mind and they don't want to live with that mind. Krishna said, if the mind is not your friend, then it's your worst enemy. So, slaughterhouse civilization, in one sense, it's the animals, the cows, the mother is being killed for the pleasure of the tongue. In another sense, Prabhupada said slaughterhouse civilization is the education system which neglects knowledge of the soul. Prabhupada's question was, what is the difference between a living body and a dead body? And he said, where is that department that is teaching the difference between dead body and living body? Question seems very simple, simplistic, but is very profound. In that when there is no Atma Tattvam, then we produce Kriya-medis, we produce so many other topics of discussion, except what will benefit us ultimately. So the Bhagavatam is that education which will create a real revolution. In Vrindavan there was a big festival, and the name of this festival was derived from one of the verses of Bhagavatam, Tadvag Vishago Janataga Viplavo. People want revolutions. Sometimes they think we're going to vote one man into power and he will create revolution. But this man, he doesn't know who he is. How will he be able to help you? He doesn't know who you are. He thinks you are your body. And if we're the body, that means the senses. Therefore, he promises lots of sense gratification. But sense gratification is another name for suffering. Krishna has said, Yei samspasha jabhoga dukaya yonaya evata adyanta vanta konteya, that it has a beginning and an end. And one who is Buddha does not indulge in this type of lifestyle. And so the education system is slaughtering the intelligence of the young by training them how to increase sense gratification more and more. By increasing sense gratification, then the spirit for devotional service goes down. Bhagavatam is teaching that everyone should understand their position in relation to Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Lord, we are His eternal servant. How to serve Krishna. And in the service of Krishna, there is the natural sense gratification. Because without sense gratification, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, you are good as dead, like a stone. We have the eyes, they must see something. Therefore we are seeing the beautiful darshan of the Lord. We are seeing the decorations, the garlands. We have nose, we must smell that which has been offered to Krishna. So the senses are not a mistake, but their purpose has to be fulfilled through Krishna. Back to Vrindavan, away from slaughterhouses, either of the intelligence or of the actual cow. Vrindavan, the cows are central. Krishna's own planet is known as Goloka, planet of the cows, mind-boggling, the topmost planet. He is himself Govinda. His whole desire is to please the senses of the cows and also of the devotees. Krishna was taking care of the calves because he's a small boy. He started crawling in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, him and Balaram, as little boys, and they would be catching the tail of the cows, and they're getting dragged across the yard in the cow dung, and the elderly gopis, they are smiling and laughing to see this. What a conception, God on his foes being dragged around by a calf in a mixture of cow dung and urine. In the West, this is the ultimate craziness. Then we think this is wonderful. God, cow dung, urine, we want Vrindavan Parikrama. And Gomata passed on the road. And there were these Matajis, they brought flowers, and they are putting on the cow dung, and they're touching to their forehead. I'm walking with the Brahmachari from New Zealand. And we're just smiling like, wow, incredible India. If you showed some so-called rational, empirical person, even in India now you find people who think like that. It's not just the West. Who think, what craziness, what madness. How far have people become so foolish that they are taking this mythology. They are worshipping stool on the road. Right? How do you take someone who has gone that far away back to know, Prabhu, the cow is the abode of all the demigods? At least now we talk, no, if you check scientifically, the cow dung is scientifically proven to be antiseptic. The urine is now a famous therapy. They're making lots of money giving Westerners urine. They'll come, no, this is auto-urine therapy. It sounds very sophisticated. So like that, touch your nose, simple for the simple, touch your nose. So sophisticated people, when they hear sophisticated language, they think that is advancement. Simple people, they want to hear the simple things. So Vrindavan is simple like that. It's about Krishna and the cows. So this Krishna and Balaram who were crawling in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, they grew up around these cows, and they're looking forward to going out deep into the forest to head the cows. So today, Vrindavan is celebrating graduation day. Krishna now is old enough to go into the forest and head the cows. So although it's a day of celebration, also it's a day of uneasiness. Because now he will go very far and he'll go out for very long hours. They won't see him. So they don't really like that. Anyway, Krishna was to go and Mother Yashoda was concerned. There's this story we hear. I don't actually know from which Shastra it comes from. I'm sure you've also heard it. Someone may know from where. How Krishna felt that he will not accept any shoes from Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda, no, Krishna, the forest has many thorns and sharp stones. You must have some shoes. Your feet are so soft. Krishna said, no, I will accept if you provide also from the cows. How many cows Nanda Maharaj has? 900,000 cows. So times 4. Because the cows have 4. How many shoes are those? 36 legs. Maybe if you go to the butter factory, they may produce. Mother Yashoda in the village is thinking, what? Where will we get so many shoes? No. The cows, they don't need shoes. They already have hooves. She said, no, it's unfair. I can't do that. How can I enjoy shoes and then my cows, they don't have shoes? This is Krishna demonstrating true leader. He's concerned about those that he's leading. Not that let them suffer. Don't worry about them. We must enjoy. So Krishna, he said, not only shoes matter, we need to get umbrella. It's very hot in Vrindavan. Some devotees were doing Govardhan Parikrama. Dineshwar Krishna Prabhu was telling me. It was very hot. And it's not even the height of summer. So Krishna wanted umbrella for the cows also. So without giving me shoes and umbrella, I'm not going. So the cows, they heard about this. Oh, Krishna doesn't want to come. Oh, why? Oh, because he's concerned that the forest is full of thorns and sharp stones, and he doesn't want our feet to be hurt. So he will not accept shoes if we don't have. So they were touched. And so they decided, no, we should go out throughout Vrindavan and we should stomp everything, powder it. Therefore, we go around Vrindavan. Sometimes when you walk, you can feel the dust popping through your fingers. This is the mercy of the cows of Vrindavan, because they didn't want Krishna to suffer. So they are also para dukkha dukhi. Their suffering is to consider if Krishna will suffer, that is their greatest suffering. So Krishna is concerned about reforming us from our demoniac nature. So this word demon is very heavy word. We were on Sankirtan once in Pretoria city with one young devotee at the time. His name was Bhakta Danman. He was from Zimbabwe. You've heard of Zimbabwe? You must have heard of Robert Mugabe. Also, they've got a cricket team. Oh, yeah. Actually, in India, if you don't have a cricket team, sometimes they don't know you. I say South Africa, they say, oh, they even remember people like Hansi Crony, JB, De Villiers, I don't even know his name. So, we approached this one Mataji. So, he was very enthusiastic. He said, Mataji, you take this book, it's very important, talks about Krishna and happiness. She said, I don't want it. And he said, oh, you are a demon. This Mataji, I've never seen someone so angry. Her lip was shaking. You're calling me a demon? Because they are thinking horns and just carrying a fork. Me, I love Jesus. So she came to me, how can you let your friend say I'm a demon? So that I was trying to pacify her. No. He's new, he's just a bit hungry. That's why he said that. And Bhakta Dhanman, he said, Prabhuji, you are defending this demon against me? He became upset. I didn't know now who to pacify. But this word demon, at least in Bhagavad Gita we understand it's a nature, divine and demonic nature. So lust, greed, envy, illusion, this create a demoniac nature. And in Kali Yuga that exists within all of us, divine and demonic nature. So Krishna wants to reform that. And he has come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without the weapons to kill the demons, but to kill the demonic nature. And therefore, this human life is very precious, because in this human life, we have a chance to get out of the whole prison house. This is called Durga Dham. It's a place of suffering. I don't know if you've visited a hospital lately. You can make it part of your sadhana to visit hospital, just to see how people are enjoying there. You see, no, this place is very bad. But India is so nice also, is things are not hidden too much. You stand in one place, you see everything. Rich man, you see cow, you see dog, you see everything. So reality is always very close by. I really appreciate that. Many countries, they try to hide that. So sometimes we just go to the hospital just to see what the body has in store for us. So Krishna doesn't want us to suffer like this. Therefore, he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He comes as the Shastra. It is to give us this knowledge. And he's giving us also a culture which will facilitate a happy life and also lead us to liberation. So the cows are important. Why? Because they give milk. From this milk, yogurt, butter, ghee. From this you can mix with so many vegetables and you can cook so many preparations. And sarira vijajal, this body which is a network of ignorance. Then the tongue is voracious, it's hard to control, but now we can offer Krishna Prasadam. And then everyone is happy. At Prasadam time, everyone is happy. Everyone is happy. No one is without faith in Krishna. Because Krishna Prasadam, yes, I agree. Even anyway, you offer someone Prasadam, yes. You say, take this book, Krishna is God, no. Okay, Krishna is Prasadam, well, okay. One man said like that, he said, I don't know anything about your religion, but your food. I like your food. Sankirtan is so nice like that. You meet so many people. One lady I met, she is a doctor. She's married to a pastor, Christian minister. So she saw me on Sankirtan and she started slowing down. Let the pastor walk forward. She came to me, she said, I was studying at Medunsa, this medical college. We used to have a class right after you people had your program. And the smell of the food, even till today, I think of it. He said, don't you have maybe like a recipe book, a cookbook? I was shocked. Like, she never ate the prasadam. But she would go into that class after the devotees had served prasadam. And she was struggling, what is this that they have cooked there? So she gladly took a higher taste. And then she told me, I'm not going to tell my husband is a pastor. He probably will preach against you guys. I said, anyway, you cook him what you find in this recipe book. I don't think he will be disagreeable. And I'm sure he wasn't unhappy with all those preparations. So the the culture of Krishna consciousness is very joyful, is very much favorable to the senses. We are not about repression, that everything, no. We want to have the right sense gratification. We want to enjoy legally. Yes, we want to enjoy. Because Anandamaya Vyasat, we are blissful by nature. We are always looking for enjoyment. So the devotees must be seen to be engaging their senses in Krishna. And so protecting the cows increases the enjoyment of the devotees, because they can grow so much vegetables to cook and offer to Krishna. They derive so many benefits from the milk. And so the devotees encourage cow protection for this reason, because the cows are also very dear to Krishna. And so our Gopal today becomes qualified. He gets, extra rope. He gets a nice hat. He gets to go out and spend the whole day out in the forest with the cows. And he is happy. And when Krishna is happy, the devotees are happy. He is always showing newer and newer sides of joy. Krishna is said to be like a gem. It has so many sides to it. Every quality of Krishna is ever fresh in the spiritual sky. So the attempt of the devotees is that we offer our mustard seed-like devotion through the spiritual master, through Srimati Radharani, who has devotion like Mount Meru. And when they present to Krishna, he can be somewhat pleased. So this festival is around celebrating the culture of Vrindavan. Krishna's cow-herding pastimes are beginning. Prabhupada is bringing us back to this world where we are in. Don't just run away in Vrindavan in your head. Remember, this is full of demoniac nature. There's all these slaughterhouses that are also detrimental for the advancement of human beings. Today is also the disappearance day. Srinivasacharya, very important acharya in our line, established a kirtan style. He is like the pioneers of book distribution. Srinivasacharya and Shamananda Pandit. And, they are there? Yeah. So Dhananjaya Pandit, disappearance day. Gadadhar Das Goswami, disappearance day. Sri Srinivasacharya, disappearance day. So it's a very auspicious day. Appearance and disappearance of the Vaishnavas is always worthy of celebration, because we remember their lives, and their lives are full of Krishna consciousness. Their absorption inspires us, and they keep us humble, because sometimes we think, I made so much advancement. But if you just consider the character of the associates of the Lord, then you realize, no, still a long way to go. So this is inspiring. Dhananjaya Pandit, you've got, I see. It says here, this is from, says Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat describes Dhananjaya Pandit as Vilakshana Mahanta, having all the characteristics of a great personality. He took part in Lord Gaurachandra's Navadvip Kirtan pastimes before moving to Vrindavan on Mahaprabhu's order. Carrying only a kamandalu, but remaining absorbed in love of Shri Krishna and Shri Chaitanya, he traveled widely and preached. He established deities of Gauranitai, Shri Gopinath and Damodar. In Vrajalila, he is Vasudama, one of Lord Balaram's Dwadasa Gopalas. His samadhi is in the 64 samadhis area. Srinivasacharya, we know, especially we sing his song, the Sat Goswami Astakam, where he glorifies the Goswamis of Vrindavan as absorbed in the love of the gopis. Therefore, very much capable of giving us the conclusions of the scriptures. Krishna Kirtana, Gana Natana Paro. They are also singing this glorious Udgita Kirtan loudly in Vrindavan. And they are so detached, they are sleeping under one tree every day. So he really brings out the glory of these direct associates of Mahaprabhu. And it's very wonderful. So today we'll take a chance to read about them, to get more inspiration, and also to remember Krishna and raising the cows. Prabhupada ended his purport with a very sweet line. Because they are not giving any importance to the instructions of Krishna, the advancement of their so-called civilization resembles the crazy efforts of men in a lunatic asylum. Some crazy people do crazy things. And when they do their crazy things, they are not really impressive to the sane person. So the Vaishnava is sane, understands that when you harm the cows, you're harming yourself. So it is a mad civilization which we have to be very careful not to imbibe the same madness. Therefore we sit like this and we get into hearing Srimad Bhagavatam so we can associate with the sane, the saintly, the liberated souls. And they were protected from taking in the insane attitudes that are what is called modern civilization. So I will stop there and thank you for giving time, giving an ear, having us in your association. If anyone has any comment or question, we'll attempt to answer. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, thank
Hare
you.
Krishna,
So, Hare Krishna, Bhaji, thank you so much for such a nice lecture on Gopashtami. But the question is that we hear that the story you told about that cows with their hoofs actually broke the sand to make it softer for the Krishna. So before it, Krishna used to herd the calves. So did he used to do it only in the particular area, like he was doing it in Nandgaon only because he was moving out. Earlier also he was moving. So how can we think? Because he was actually herding already with calves. We know that he used to herd cows. The Brahma Vimona Leela had told that he was taking the calves actually. And then suddenly this Leela comes. So at that time he was inside and then he started moving out. That's what I just had a thought regarding it. Like in the Brahma Vimona Leela is 4 years like that, no? Brahma Vimona. And then he is tending the calves actually. And after this Leela comes, 1 year passed by and then just as inquiry.
Yes.
And thank you for such a nice lecture. It was a really great blessing to see how to actually enjoy in the right way, in the legal way. It was a great blessing to get your session. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
All right. Thank you, Prabhu. So you want to find out what was happening to his feet before 5 as he's tending the calves. Was he not getting hurt then? Yeah, the calves generally aren't going so far and deep into the forest. And generally they are tied near the house. But sometimes it's said of Krishna's pastimes that, you know, the main ingredient is the sweetness around the Leela. This gesture of the cows to tackle the rough stones on behalf of Krishna is their expression of their love. In one sense, if we go into Tattva, then someone said, Prabhu, Krishna is God. You think some stones can harm him? Even he was like a baby, he killed Putana, you know? So the Tattva sometimes, if we go into it, takes away the sweetness of the Leela. Because now it's just like, he was suffering, they waited until he was 5. These cows, only they did this service. They should have done it from birth. But Vrindavan, the whole Dham, Balaram is manifested as a service to Krishna. So we can rest assured that in no way is Vrindavan Dham harming Krishna. It's always serving Krishna. And we see that his footprints are always seen everywhere. So to leave footprints, there must be soft sand. It must be soft. So if they are everywhere, that means the land also is living, it's Chintamani. Krishna puts his lotus foot, it must be in ecstasy. It must not be just hard, and it must be ready to serve him. But specifically with this Leela, it is expressed, they were happy that he wanted to take some tapasya like them, and he wasn't willing to get enjoyment without serving them. Yeah. So maybe somewhere we'll find the devotees. Please find out for Prabhu. And later on, maybe there's somewhere it's specified like that. But thank you so much for your question, Prabhu. Yes. Is there any other thought? Okay, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisance. So yesterday I was hearing your lecture on Vrindavan. So you were in Vrindavan, you were speaking about the pastimes and especially on how to chant, about the chanting the name of the Lord. And today also we got a good fortune to hear you. And one thing we all can sense, loudly? Okay. So one thing we can easily sense in your katha, there's so much, means you are filled with realization in Krishna consciousness.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
So the question was in the same direction, that what was the source of your inspirations and what were the source of your, in the path of your journey in the Krishna consciousness? So what were those big hooks you caught yourself into them and then you relished the Krishna consciousness?
Oh. So much, I'm just, yeah. First was curiosity. We saw the devotees dressed like this, shaved heads. At that time, we're looking for a different lifestyle. Someone who's not living like everyone else must know something that others don't know. So when we saw the devotees, they were different. So we thought they must know something. Otherwise, what type of fashion is this? So we went to them. And when they spoke, they invited us to a program. And so the man spoke, the devotee, and he made sense. We're not the body, we're the soul. At that time, we had our own movement of black consciousness. Africa has been colonized, the white man is putting us down. It's time we unite and create our own empires. But there was lots of suffering there because based on your skin color, you are feeling you're being identified and, why we're always being oppressed. And when the devotee spoke that we're not the body, we're the soul, it's just, whoa, yes. I always felt I'm not just this body. I know people from all walks of life. They're not all bad. Even the white man is not all bad, I was feeling. So the philosophy made sense. They had kirtan, we thought, nice song. And they had prasadam. So we thought, no, these guys have wisdom, they've got good food and a nice song, we should go back next week. So the more we heard, the more we took prasadam. I thought this would be good to do for me, and then maybe later I can try to share it with others. And then kirtan. first time we went to the temple, I thought we've been too easy. You know, the devotees, they didn't struggle to recruit us. So now in this temple, we're not going to take part, just going to observe soberly everything. Kirtan time came. The next thing I remember, I was in the middle of the kirtan, dancing. I thought, oh. So the holy name, the philosophy, the prasadam, and just the devotees, you know, very good habits, clean. Their story is the same. You talk to this one or that one. Not everyone speculating, I think this, I think that. We heard so many people. So, Prabhupada's message, yeah. In fact, since you have asked, I run a YouTube channel called Savya the Monk. Savya the Monk, S-A-V-Y-A, the Monk, T-H-E-M-O-N-K. If you go on that channel, you can hit the subscribe button, it's okay. And then there's an interview. Maybe you just go click popular, and then it's probably like third, fourth popular video on the channel. There's a lady who interviewed me for a TV program and is asking me how I got involved. So we tell some stories there of involvement, how the parents reacted, how the friends reacted. Maybe it may be interesting for you if you check it, yeah. So thank you for all your time, dear devotees. Please give your blessings so that one can continue trying to serve Srila Prabhupada. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Bol.
His Grace Savyasachi Prabhu ji ki